அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி. May all beings live blissfully. May the divine feet of Guru Vallalar be praised. My dear brothers and sisters in spirit, I thank you all once again for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you on a very important topic. Yesterday we saw that 4 factors are causing death, and we dealt with one topic called yoga food. Today we are going to deal with another very important, perhaps the most crucial one of the second factor, called yoga of sleep. This is very, very important. If you are a Vedanti or a Siddhanti or a yogi, or if you belong to any other religion, this topic is common for all systems of yoga and meditation, because sleep is representing the state of death. In fact, a great sage Thiruvalluvar says, what is sleep but a small death? And what is death but a prolonged sleep? It's as simple as that. Tunjinar Settarin Verellar. In Tamil, the sage Thiruvalluvar says. So, unless we understand sleep, we cannot understand death. Unless we understand sleep, which is nothing but darkness of consciousness, we cannot think of enlightenment of consciousness or salvation or mukti. You know, if you go through the biography of the great sage Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, you will find a statement that he never slept. He will be reclining on a sofa, but he never slept, because if you have one wink of sleep, finished. The cessation of consciousness is called death. There should be no cessation of consciousness. Your body may go to sleep, even your mind can go to sleep, but your consciousness, that is your Atman, it should never go to sleep. Cessation of consciousness is called death. What is cessation? There should be no break in your consciousness. It should be like a flow of oil. In Sanskrit, it is called Taila Tara. Tara means it is a constant flowing. Taila means oil. If you pour oil from above, how does it continue? Is there any break in the pouring down? No, like a torrent, it is always coming down without any break. If there is any break, immediately death will occur. Immediately death will occur. So, the only one point, the starting point, the foundation of all paths of spirituality is this: conquest of sleep. If you are not able to conquer your sleep, you can never conquer death. Even mukti is defined as the conquest of the sleeping consciousness. So this is of utmost importance for all sadhaks, whether they belong to one system or another, irrespective of any system. It belongs to all the systems of yoga. So we should be very, very, very careful about sleep. And we are going to see one step at a time, please. Now, what is sleep? What is meant by sleep? In Tamil, we have a word for sleep. It is called Thukam. You know what is meant by Thukam? The hanging tree. Every day we hang ourselves. Every day we hang ourselves and enter into death, say for about 7 hours or 8 hours. Once again, we are revived by God. We are given a new lease of life, and the next day we go on living. Thukam means nothing but the tree of hanging tree. So every day we hang ourselves and commit suicide in the form of small death called sleep. That is meant by what is sleep. And sleep of the animals, except man and some wild animals like tiger, no animal which is a prey to other animals, sleeps soundly. They never into deep sleep for fear of their life. Suppose I enter into deep sleep, some other wild animal might catch hold of me and eat me. So, in order to save my life, I should not enter into deep sleep. So, they sleep only light, in a very light manner. So, if you enter into deep sleep, what happens? Either a wild animal catches you or the Lord of Death, Yama, catches you. So, what is the lesson we have to learn from the animals? Always sleep lightly. That's why Swami Ramalinga says, Mellena uranguga, lesaga uranguga. Never enter into deep sleep. Always sleep in a light manner. That's what Swami says. And further, he recommends one posture during sleep. If you are a man, lie on the left side of your body so that breathing will go through your right nostril. When the breathing goes through the right nostril, what happens? Some kind of awakening takes place. Your body is strengthened. Your consciousness is awakened. So you cannot sleep deeply. If you happen to be a woman, you lie on the right side so that your breathing goes through the left nostril, so that your soul will be awakened to some extent. So this is one remedy given by Swami Ramalinga for the conquest of sleep. And then deep sleep and light sleep next. Effects of sleep. Okay, sir, you say unless you conquer sleep, you cannot conquer consciousness, and unless you conquer sleep, you cannot enter into enlightenment or immortality. All that is okay, sir, but if I don't have enough sleep, if I am deprived of sleep, I have some bad effects like frustration, indigestion, constipation. So many physiological effects, side effects are there. So many mental effects are there. I am easily frustrated. I get angry over nothing. Yes, because of our present conditioning. We have been conditioned into believing that this body needs at least 8 hours of sleep. As I told you earlier, Bhagavan Ramana never had a wink of sleep, but was he alright or not? So, he was able to recondition his mind. As we program our computers, we are programming our minds. What is the program? The input is that unless you have got a minimum of 8 hours of sleep, your body shall not function normally in a proper manner. That is the input. We have to change this input. But it is deep-seated. All through our lives, all through the lives of our parents and grandparents, we have been brainwashed into thinking that you need so many hours of sleep. Even the medical texts, they also reiterate the same theme. But what about the saints? What about the jnanis who have shown us the other way? So you have to reprogram your mind. If you could reprogram your mind and believe in that, with that conviction, you can change the physiology of the body. But this reconditioning could take place only gradually, slowly. Please do not attempt to overthrow the entire system all of a sudden. It will cause havoc. The entire system will collapse. We are going to recondition a system which has been adopted for millennia. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to adopt the new system in a gradual manner. That is why I say reduce the sleep, say about 15 minutes. And replace those 15 minutes of sleep with 15 minutes of meditation. The practical aspect of it we are going to see at the end. Now, good and bad. What is the good advantage of conquering sleep? You can have more degree of awareness, more degree of alertness and attention, which will contribute to the attainment of enlightenment or mukti. What is the bad effects? Our body will suffer to some extent. Loss of sleep will give you constipation, will give you mental frustration and all sorts of troubles, but you have to bear them. You have to understand that at the initial stages you will undergo some hardship, some difficulties, and you have to bear them. Next. Why do we need sleep at the initial stage? All of us were born in this world and we were babies, and then we were children, and then we grew into adolescents. Now we are adults. Now some of us have grown older also. But a baby needs at least 16 hours of sleep, otherwise its body cannot grow. Kan valardal. Valardal means, in Tamil it is called kan valardal. It means sleeping as well as the growth of the body. Unless a baby sleeps for at least 16 hours per day, its body will not grow. So, total concentration is put here on the growth of the body. Unless the body grows into an adult form, its intelligence cannot properly function and it cannot move about in the world learning things. So, in the initial stages, God sees to it that the baby is always going to sleep. But later what happens? From 16 hours, the sleep is reduced to 12 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours and 6 hours. So, gradually, when the body has reached its optimum level, say at the age of 21, the body has grown to its maximum height, maximum build, and then it starts deteriorating. So, till the age of 21, you have to grow. Your bone structure will grow, your muscles will grow. You can develop your body till the age of 21 according to science. After that, it starts declining. So, until the age of 21 or at least to the age of 16, that is what the life of Saint Trijnana Sambandar teaches us. Till the age of 16, the body should be let to grow up. So, you need food, and this body, what is it called? It is called Annamaya Kosha. This body is called in Vedanta, in Taittiriya Upanishad, it is called Annamaya Kosha. We mainly live in this body of food. According to Taittiriya Upanishad, we have got 5 bodies, and beyond the 5 bodies, we have got the Atman, and beyond the Atman, we have got Brahman. What are the 5 bodies? This is Annamaya Kosha. Annam means food. This is the food body, and the air body. Pranamaya Kosha means air body, and behind that, we have got Manomaya Kosha or thought body, and behind that we have got Vijnanamaya Kosha or intelligence body, and behind that we have got Anandamaya Kosha or bliss body or love body. Behind these 5 bodies we have our Atman or spirit, and embedded inside that spirit we have got the over spirit or God. So we have got 7 aspects, 7 centers of consciousness, one behind the other. 7 layers are there inside us, but unfortunately we are making use of only 2 bodies. Even that unconsciously, we are not conscious of that. This is Annamaya Kosha. It grows by taking food. This is the food body. And what is the next one? Pranamaya Kosha. Pranamaya Kosha means air body. By constantly breathing all through the 24 hours, we are developing our Pranamaya Kosha. And what is the third body? Manomaya Kosha. To some extent, we are developing it. We are born with Manomaya Kosha, but unfortunately, we neglect to develop that. The the scientists and the intellectuals, they develop this third body of Manomaya Kosha. And the 4th and the 5th body we totally neglect. We are not aware that we have been blessed with the 4th body of intelligence and the 5th body of bliss. We totally neglect. If you want to become a jnani, if you want to become a wise one like Ramana or Ramakrishna or Seshadri Swamigal, where do you begin? Not at the first 3 bodies. You begin at the 4th body, intelligence body, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Unless your Vijnanamaya Kosha is developed, you cannot become a jnani. You cannot become a yogi. Unless you develop your 5th body called bliss body, that is love body, which means You have to develop your capacity to love. The bliss body will not grow. It will not develop. Without developing your love body, you can never become a saint. Without developing these two bodies, you will die. When you die, what happens? You will lose the first two bodies. This food body will be either cremated or burned. And the pranamaya kosha, air body, it will enter into the atmosphere and mingle with it, merge with it. Manomaya kosha, if you are a strong-minded person with some willpower, that body will linger for some time and then it will also disappear into atmosphere. This is what is happening at the time of death. But if you are capable of developing the fourth body called Vijnanamaya kosha, it has got some kind of stability. Then you can retain your consciousness. Bhagavan Ramana has retained, as Ramakrishna has retained, as Vallalar has retained. So, where does a yogi or a sadhak start his sadhana? Only with the fourth body, with Vijnanamaya kosha. It is called intelligence body. Intelligence body. Now you should know the difference between thought and intelligence. Manomaya kosha is thought body. Vijnanamaya kosha is intelligence body. Intelligence means intuition. You don't go one step at a time. You don't count 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Your intuition, intuitive faculty starts functioning. When you are questioned, immediately the answer is given to you by the intuitive faculty. That is pure intelligence. For example, when Newton the scientist saw an apple fall down, many people have seen that fact of falling apples. Innumerable times it has happened, innumerable people have seen it, but nobody questioned it. Why should it fall down instead of going upwards? Why does it go sideways? So there should be some magnet deeply in the center, in the core of the earth. And what is that power? And he discovered the law of gravitation. Not only apple, anything that is thrown above comes down. So there must be something deep inside. What is that? Then the earth itself becomes a magnet. So the greater the weight and the size of the object, the greater magnet. So all the planets are nothing but magnets. They are pulling each other. By the pulling power, they retain themselves in their orbits. So, from one thing to another, from just a falling of from the fact of falling of an apple, he was able to deduce so much. The entire Principia Mathematica of Newton was born out of intelligence. That is intelligence. It is not thought. So we should know and we should understand the difference between thought and intelligence. So where do we start if you want to become a yogi or wise man or wise woman? We start at the fourth body. All the systems that teach you yoga and jnana, they begin only with the fourth level. That is why the very first statement in Patanjali's yoga says, yoga, what is yoga? Chitta vritti nirodha. What is chitta vritti? Thought. Stopping of thoughts. That is yoga. If you are able to stop thoughts, you are a yogi. If you are not able to stop your thoughts, no amount of reading, no amount of speaking, no amount of scholarship can make you into a yogi. We should make it clear. This understanding, the discrimination between thought and intelligence must be there. And what is the fifth body? Bliss body or love body. What is your capacity to love? How much of love you contain in your mind, in your body? How many people? You count on your fingers. I love Mr. So-and-so. I love Mrs. So-and-so. I love my son. I love my daughter-in-law. I love my grandchildren. And then I love some of my friends. And then the number stops. 10, 20, and then you are not able to count. So our love body is so small. Then how can we expect God to love us? God who is capable of loving all beings, irrespective of caste, gender, religion, creed, no difference whatsoever. He is capable of loving, showering His love upon one and everyone, each and everyone. So we must develop our capacity to love. Then our love body, bliss body will develop. Then you will not die. You can retain your consciousness. Because what is the two attributes of Atman or spirit? Swami says, love and intelligence. To develop love, we are asked to do Jiva Karunya, rendering service to all beings. At least provide food to the hungry. Do service to the needy. Take the patients at least to the hospital, nurse them. By doing that service, you are developing your bliss body. Constantly you are developing your bliss body. And then in such sattvicharas, you are developing the fourth body called intelligence body. Without these two attributes, your Atman will not grow or develop. It will always remain in the size of an atom. Anavam. Yesterday we saw the meaning of Anavam. Anu, Avam. So, what is the size of our Atman now? Just like an atom. We never let it grow. How to make it grow? By adopting two things. By constant rendering of services to other beings and then sattvichara. Inquiry after truth. When these five bodies are transcended, you can see beyond them the true level of spirit. That is what Ramana Maharshi says. No amount of book reading, no amount of yoga, will do. The inner journey should start from the body and it should go beyond the five bodies. It should transcend all the five bodies and touch your spirit, touch your Atman, and you should reside there. Yesterday we saw Swami explaining the process. So, you should enter into your own self and stay there. Always. That is what Swami Ramalinga says. Eppodum sitsabayin kanne gavanam vaikya. Where is your Atman? Inside the forehead. This is the kingdom of God. This is Chitsava. And you should always stay rooted inside the Chitsava. That is self-realization. And if you go still deeper, you can see God. Beyond the Atman is Brahman or God or Arutperanjodi. Whatever form you want to see your God, you will be given such a darshan. Yes, now we are coming back to our topic. Baby is always growing its body, food body, at the cost of spirit. Either the body eats the spirit or the spirit eats the body. This is a bit difficult to understand, but if you read the story of Nammalvar, you will understand. Well, we'll talk about it later. Now, the baby is concentrating totally upon the development of its body. So, it is always sleeping. For some 16 hours a day, it is always sleeping and lets its body grow. Okay, when the body has completed growing, say at the age of 16 or 21, people differ there. Let us forget about the difference for the time being now. When the body has completed its growth, it starts developing its mind. Maybe at the age of 45, when the person becomes a mature person mentally, you enter into Vanaprastha, or you start developing your spiritual faculties. In the Hindu Shastras, we are given 4 stages: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and then Sannyasa. What is meant by that? When you are a bachelor, a single person, it is called Brahmacharya. When you get married, you enter into Grihastha. Griham means house. You become a householder. When you are a bachelor, you concentrate only on the development of your body. When you become a Grihastha, you concentrate on developing your mind. You are interested in making money. You are interested in developing your mind. You are interested in building a house for yourself and your family. And all these things, you become a mature person. And at the age of 45 or 50, you are entering into the phase of Vanaprastha. What is meant by Vanaprastha? Vanam means forest. Who were the forest dwellers at that time? Rishis, Jnanis were living at the forest. So during the weekends, even the kings went to the rishis for consultation, for entering into satsanga like this. And when the weekend is over, they went back to their places. They went back to their palaces at the age of 60. They renounced their household and they went back to the forest and stayed with the rishis. It is called sannyasa, renouncing everything. So these 4 phases were given to us by our forefathers. Okay, now here baby grows till the age of 16 or 21 and it concentrates on 2 things. It is always sleeping. During sleep your body grows. Body needs total concentration of energies. It needs rest. So body is growing at the cost of spirit. What is spirit? Enlightened consciousness is spirit. When you are constantly sleeping, what happens? Darkness enters into your soul and forgetfulness results. Forgetfulness results. Have you heard of Lethe, the stream of Lethe? In the Greek mythology, all souls, when they are reborn into this world, their souls are dipped into the river of Lethe. What is meant by Lethe? Forgetfulness. In Greek, the word Lethe means forgetfulness. Here in the Hindu Puranas, they say, at the first movement of a child's head, the appearance of a child's head into this earth, from the mother's womb, the atmospheric air enters into their nostrils. That time, that exact moment is recorded by the astrologers. And the chart is calculated according to that time. Because from that moment onwards, the child has life upon this earth. So the very first moment, the atmospheric air called sadam enters into their bodies through their nostrils. They start breathing, and with breathing, mind starts functioning. See, with breathing, the mind starts functioning. And the jnanis like Nammalvar or Ramana Maharshi or Vallalar, they are born with their recollection, total remembrance of all that happened in their previous births. Nammalvar, the Vaishnava saint, Vaishnava Guru, was one such person. He was able to remember all that happened in his previous births. Even when he was inside the womb of his mother, he was able to remember everything. But when the atmospheric air started entering into his nostrils, he said, "Hence, you Satan, you get away from me, I don't need you." He lived for 16 years and he lived without breathing. This is called Sahaja Samadhi. He was born in Samadhi state, in super consciousness state. So he was able to get rid of this atmospheric air called Sadam. Kobam means to be angry. So even at the time of his birth, the Vaishnavite Guru, Nammalvar, he is called Sadagoban. Why? Because he was angry with Sadam, the atmospheric air. I can do away with you. I don't need your help. I don't have to sustain my body through your help. I don't need your atmospheric air. I don't need oxygen. So he was called Sada Koban. One who was angry with Sadam, the atmospheric air. The body grew without taking food, without breathing. That is possible. They are born saints. They are born jnanis. So what is it that makes us forget our past life remembrances, past life thoughts? This atmospheric air. Okay. So here the next thing is Kumbhakarna. We have a mythological character called Kumbhakarna, the younger brother of Ravana the Asura. How does the poet Valmiki portray him? When he sits, when Kumbhakarna is seated, what will be his height? The height of Ravana while standing. Ravana is supposed to be a great Asura, well built, very tall. But what was his height? When Kumbhakarna was seated, what was his height? The height was that of Ravana standing. That is, Kumbhakarna was double the size of Ravana. For 6 months he was eating, and for another 6 months he was sleeping. That was how he got so much of physical health. He was a mountain of a man. So sleep and food, they go to contribute the development and growth of your body at the cost of spirit, at the cost of